breaking news out of the U.S. 4 people are now dead after a mass shooting in Kentucky. It happened at a bank in downtown Louisville. Multiple people are also injured. We go now to the CBC's Heather Gillis. She's working on this story. What do we know so far?
Well, what we know is that 4 are dead and 8 have been taken to hospital after another mass shooting in the U.S., this time in Louisville, Kentucky. Authorities say that some of the people injured are fighting for their lives. And it happened at the Old National Bank on Main Street in the downtown area. The shooter is dead, and a police officer also injured and is in surgery. The Louisville Metro Police Department, Mayor Craig Greenberg, and the governor held a news conference about an hour ago, and they say the first reports of shots fired came in at around 8:30 local time. Police say they arrived just minutes later to find an active shooter, and the governor, Andy Beshear, says this act of gun violence hits way too close to home for him.
This is awful. I have a very close friend that didn't make it today. And I have another close friend who didn't either, and one who's at the hospital that I hope is going to make it through. So when we talk about praying, I hope people will.
He's asking people to pray for the victims and their families. The bank where the shooting happened is the one that the governor himself has used before, and he is asking, again, people to pray for those victims. But despite the tragedy, he says the community is safe. Police saying again that the shooter is dead, so there is no longer any danger to the public. He apparently died on the scene from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, but did have some sort of connection to the bank, according to police. Police still urging people to stay away from the scene and the area as they investigate. Still a heavy police presence in the area, roped off with yellow police tape, and FBI agents have even responded to help local authorities with this shooting. Let's go to witness Caleb Goodlett. He was on the scene when police first arrived. His wife was inside the bank calling him on the phone.
He was locked in the vault, that there was an active shooter in the building, and called 911. By the time I got a hold of 911, they were already aware of it. I was approaching the scene right as the first officers were approaching the scene. No time wasted. They attempted to breach the building first. They were unsuccessful on the first breach. They backed off, pushed us back. We got people out of their cars in the middle of the street. And then we saw another round go back into the building. We heard multiple shots, and then everything got quiet. That's when ambulance started arriving, fire, so on and so forth.
Now, there have been at least 15 mass shootings in the U.S. in the first 10 days of this month in April, 146 so far this year. Police say they're going to have another update on this situation later this afternoon.
Thanks for that, Heather. That's the CBC's Heather Gillis.